Hello and welcome to your 18 WJTS in.form. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and we've got some very special guests from the Rotary Club of Dubois County, if I can say that right, Rotary Club of Dubois County. We've got Deidra Church and Manda Combs here today, and you guys are coming to talk about something that is very special in our community and does a fantastic job of celebrating our women in the community. So before we get into it, welcome to you both, and thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
We're excited to be here.
Yes. So two very influential women in our area here to come talk about something today. And what we're going to talk about is the Athena Awards that you guys are currently seeking nominations. Is that right?
Yes. We appreciate you having us today to really talk about the Athena Awards banquet. But we need the community's help. So we're asking for nominations. You know, who in your circle could you nominate?
Yes. And so the Athena Awards, will you tell us a little bit about that, maybe for someone who, either Deidra or Manda, of course, either one, if you want to tell us about like what that entails. It is named the Athena Award, so it is women-centered, which is wonderful. But for maybe somebody who's never visited the exhibit at the museum or anything like that, what can you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Athena Awards is, we are 12th year that we are celebrating female leaders in Dubois County. And so it is an international program, and it is in over 8,000 communities, I think, that they honor these women. And so we're looking for female leaders that might be in the home place or in work, nonprofits, for-profit, that are inspiring their fellow employees, really putting great work back into Dubois County and mentoring young women to become future leaders.
That's right.
Wonderful. So let's get those what ifs or maybe stereotype stipulations, requirements out of the way. Do you have to be a Rotary member? Do you have to be in a business, work in a business here in Dubois County? Do you have to know somebody in Rotary? Do you, like, all of those questions?
Sure.
So for people who have never maybe submitted before.
Yeah, so that's why we're here. It's not Rotarians that actually, they can nominate, but it doesn't have to be a Rotarian. So this is something we want to hear from our community. We, obviously, the woman would work or live in Dubois County. And as Deidra said, you know, it could come from the business space. It could be a business owner, but it could be not-profit, for-profit, educators. We've had a lot of great and been able to honor educators. It's just been a long list, and that's the really cool thing about this is that, you know, everybody's story is different and everybody achieves success differently. And so this event is giving us the ability to honor those women for a wonderful evening.
Yes.
And you don't have to know a Rotary member. You don't have to be in Rotary. You don't have to come to Rotary meetings. Really, we are just proud to host this event because we think it's important. And so if there are questions, you can certainly reach out to any Rotary member or Amanda or I. But we're kind of the conduit for the event to happen and really rely on community members to make it work.
And I would say there's never a Rotary member too far away. I think anytime I go to a public event or anything in the county, I can always recognize one of them. So you may not even know a Rotarian, and that's fine. You just, if you know a woman who has changed or been pivotal in the growth of business or just life here in Dubois County, you can nominate them and really give them a moment to shine. So I would love to ask you, Manda, can you give us some examples of some past Athena Award winners?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, since we've done the event, you know, for this will be our 12th year. As I said, they've come from all different walks of life and really what they've been able to do in their career as well as the service and really mentorship. So last year we honored Sister Rosemary Rexing, you know, was such a wonderful lady to be open to the nomination process. And that's something, too, we'll talk about, I'm sure. But Rosina Sandoval, Monsivice, the list goes on and on. Kelly Klaus, Dr. Tracy Lorai, Kim Messmer, Tanya Heim, just a long list of wonderful women that have been the recipient of our award.
And so many familiar names because they're pillars in our community, which is something I really want people to take away from this. But for people who maybe are a bit hesitant, or they don't know if they should nominate somebody, or say we will, I guess we'll kind of go into the idea that these nominees know that they are going to be nominated. They are involved in the process, and that's something that's very unique about the Athena Awards, right?
Absolutely. You're right. We don't want it to be a surprise because it's so important to know all of the details of that person's life, their journey, and how they became the leader that they are. So it's important to include the person. We also want the person to be at the event in September, so making sure that they're available on that date if they become a finalist is also very important. But within the nomination process, just working with them to branch out and get other feedback and ideas and stories from other people in their lives, men and women, of their stories of impact is really important. So no, we don't want it to be a surprise. And for the ladies who are potentially going to be nominated, we really ask that you say yes, because you are obviously someone who has had an impact and deserve to be celebrated. And for those who are too humble for it, there is a bonus that comes with it, and that is $2,000 is granted to the recipient's charity of choice. So one person will get some money donated to that charity, and so some really extended good is done with that as well.
Wow. Yeah, it is a fantastic opportunity for just growth and recognition. And one of the amazing things as well is this group of finalists, whenever they are recognized, they're recognized as a group at this banquet, and then also, one rises above the rest. But it really is about all of the women that are really chosen and represent Dubois County.
Yes, it is such an honor to be a finalist that evening. We, of course, yes, one is selected as the recipient, but it's so important to tell their stories, and make sure that people hear it. You could be, of course, inspiring others is really what this is about, and making sure young women know there are mentors out there, and there's people and women that are making a difference, and they can do the same, so it's really a neat and different than anything else we do in the community.
And I think where I was going earlier, I definitely want to maybe, bring the thought, do you have to be of a certain age? Do you have to have that CEO, super general manager position? Do you have to have that status to be nominated? Or is it something where, it's up to interpretation and really everyone's invited?
It's whomever is inspiring and making an impact. It doesn't matter your title. It doesn't matter how many careers you've had or if you've climbed the ladder. There are many people who give of themselves for the betterment of others through service. And perhaps they don't have a full-time career, or they've jumped from position to position because of their calling. And so every leader is represented differently. And so I think that it's just who is impactful and inspiring and making a difference is what's really important.
That is perfectly said. That's why I ask these questions, because I know there's those people at home, they're hesitant. They don't even want to, it's not worth the hassle, etc. I don't even know if so-and-so is going to say yes, but you don't know until you try.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes. I think we all have those people in our lives that we think back of a pivotal moment, and those are the people that I think we really need to stop and think about honoring, because we don't say thank you enough, and this is a really beautiful way to do that.
Wonderful. So let's get into the nitty gritty. What do we need to know to nominate a Athena nominee or anything like that? And then we'll definitely give a little hint about the banquet that comes up later this year.
Sure. The nomination form is on our website, DuboisCountyRotary.com. Of course, Athena tab, super easy to find. It will really walk you through the process. There's 3 questions that really talk first about their career, their business sense, or what they've really done in that landscape. And then it jumps to community service and what they've done there. And then the 3rd question talks about how have they mentored women and what role have they played in helping women reach their full potential. So, but then it also asks, who else could you reach out to? When you look at the different aspects and different members that they've kind of helped with or groups they've been a part of, who else can also kind of recommend this person? So it's a joint effort there, and being as thorough as possible is always helpful because of the people on our committee that select may not know all the ins and outs of that person. So that is really what's important to make sure you highlight that. But all of that can be found on our website to nominate.
And there is a deadline that submissions need to be in by. So when is that?
So June 10th. So it seems like maybe you've got some time, but we ask, that you be thorough. So that's why we're here now, and we appreciate you having us so early so we can get the word out, to have people start thinking about that, because we want you to tell a story, It does such a difference if you put the form together and the nomination form together as if someone didn't know who that nominee is.
Yes, so you, in a way, you're going to have, you figure out who you want to nominate. You're going to have to do a little investigative work. You have to uncover, hopefully, even more that you may or may not have known about the individual.
Absolutely.
And then you have to really submit that and make it into this great portrait and this, in a way that can be recognized.
Absolutely.
And that is just phenomenal to even think of. It's just very exciting. So, ladies, we've got the banquet that will come up after submissions are in and the finalists are chosen and whatnot. So what does that normally entail?
The event is on September the 18th at Huntingburg Event Center. It is a beautiful event, and it is well oiled. It is, it does not run long. It is not the stuffy sit-down event. It is very inspiring and entertaining, and so we will hear from a featured speaker, which I'll let Manda get into here in just a little bit. But we really focus on all of our finalists. It's not about a winner. It is about honoring these finalists and their stories and sharing that and celebrating the night with them. Yeah.
Awesome. So we've got the speakers already set then.
Yeah, so, we as a committee brainstorm of who, we've had such great speakers over the years, but this year we have Dr. Katie Jenner. She is actually Indiana's first Secretary of Education. So I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about her and, how she's a dynamic speaker and inspiring. So it'll be really cool to hear her story through the education and how she's kind of came to her position now and really to inspire our audience that evening. It's a really great thing.
Fantastic. And if anyone, we'll get a little closer to the event and make sure it's in our news coverage and whatnot, but if anyone is a little hesitant on nominating anyone, but they want to experience the event, tickets will be available a little bit closer, or are they available now?
We will always sell you a ticket.
Okay, fair enough.
Or a table, always. So we will have an online link that you can go out, purchase, and recreate, kind of what we've done in the years past. But I think save the date, and we will, of course, ask to come back here and sell tickets and sponsorships and all those things. So I know we will do that in the coming months for sure.
Fantastic. And again, it's a banquet to recognize these women, and just like the Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame, then they are immortalized in the museum, the Dubois County Museum. So they get their 5 minutes of fame per se, but then they put their mark on the community by being featured in the museum as history makers.
Yes, absolutely. So our club, a couple years, about 4 or 5 years ago, built a display under the direction of Laura Grammer, a Rotarian, and her group, and it's beautiful. If you have not seen that, we encourage you to go there and look at that. But really, it does highlight all of our recipients as well as all of our finalists. So they are all listed back since the inception. So we continue to make that a great display, and we appreciate the museum. It's beautiful.
Fantastic. Well, ladies, is there anything else we need to touch up on? I know people need to start putting in those applications and getting these nominees selected. So making sure we don't miss anything.
I don't think so. That's great. You have covered it all, and we appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. So, I think just start now, and we're here if you have questions.
Yes.
So you can always reach out. We're very much on the social networks and our email. I mean, it's easy to find us, so we're happy to help.
Yes, and if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate. Just reach out. I know Rotarians who I work with or I see at community events. If you
Sure.
have questions, just ask.
Absolutely.
And if they can't answer it, they'll find someone else that can.
That's right. Absolutely.
Exactly right.
Well, thank you both for coming today and giving us a plethora of information. The Athena Awards is a fantastic thing for our community, and the fact that the Rotary is able to host this is just amazing. So we appreciate all that you do with the Rotary Club.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you so much at home for watching. This has been your 18 WJTS in.form. Be sure to get those Athena nominations in as soon as you can, because we want to celebrate the women of Dubois County in the best way that we can. So with the Rotary Club of Dubois County, this has been your 18 WJTS in.form, where we are local people watching local people.